All right, so I have a very short video to do here. I might come back with another one, but I doubt it. I don't think I'm gonna have content for a little while. I'll try my best tomorrow, but I got a little bit of a short video and a little bit of stuff to say. So first of all, I just want to break it down. I've had different stages in my life, although most of it was at a basic level. I can tell you that, in the 90s when I was growing up, and by the way, I was reading a lot of books. I mean, I remember third grade, they gave us like, we get points or something. And what we would do is basically, we would have little cue cards where we would write, the title of the book, the author, and then we write a brief synopsis or whatever, our own interpretation of it. And I remember me and like two other students, like we did like 100 books, in that semester or whatever. We were literally just reading book after book and actual novels, all fiction. And then fourth grade, the same thing. I read all the Harry Potter books and everything up until a certain age and a certain point. One of the last books that I'd say I ended with Da Vinci Code. I thought Da Vinci Code was pretty good. I was about 13 years old when I read Da Vinci Code. And then I stopped reading. But, I would say by age 13, like to become literally understood was a huge thing in the 90s. It was like they used to have Reader's Digest where every month you got an issue where we were just pure reading. It was reading about fiction, it was reading about nonfiction. You would read stories that people had written who got selected, whose stories got selected to be published. You would read medical articles and things like that on the heart and all that. You would read stories of people climbing mountains or whatever. And it was a lot of reading. In the 90s, reading really, it took you to a different level. Even if you're traveling country to country, you needed to read at that time. I mean, they would put bestsellers out. At that time, you really had to be literally in tune with things. I'm being very serious about this. I'm very serious about this. It was very, very well understood. Even in the academic world, you could have a degree and nobody gave a shit. They wanted to know what kind of interesting material of books that you were interested in and you were reading. That would literally put you at a higher literary caliber. And I told you, by the time I did 12U English, I was flying through the books and the essays. It was nothing for me because I had already become literally, they call it literate, but I'm talking about at a high level. That would earn you a lot of interest in any conversation. I was 9 years old, and there were adults that loved to talk to me because I could speak to them at that level, at an adult level. I'm not joking about that either. Now, that's one thing I wanted to say. Another thing that I wanted to say, which I actually wanted to make a distance from. So when I was 12 years old, I played for this basketball team, which is a school basketball team, and I was one of the better players on the team. I was a young kid. And I mean, I was there. Our first game, I was in the starting lineup. In our very last game where we lost that tournament, we were up by a point, and I was inbounding the ball, and I made it, and it didn't go well. They intercepted and scored. But the point is that I shied away. Once I hit 8th grade, I wanted nothing to do with sports. I would play for fun, definitely, but I had no desire now to join a school team. I had no desire to do anything. And when I got to high school, I had no desire to join any team. I never tried out for any teams in high school. I never tried out for, not even sports teams, debating team and all that shit, chess team and all that. I did not try out for a single team in high school. I never went to any tryouts, and I didn't give a shit about sports. But for some reason, and it was 11th grade. No, it was 10th and 11th grade. What started to happen was, for some reason, our number one sport in our school, and by the way, we had, the school just happened to be an English learning school as a specialty. So we had immigrants from all over the world. I'm talking Europe, South America, Middle East, all over Asia, Africa, everywhere. Okay, so we had all immigrants. And I'll tell you, nobody gave a shit about any of the sports. I mean, I think basketball was a close second, and some people had interest. Nobody gave a shit. The number one top sport at that time was soccer, okay, or English football or football, European football. So I noticed because when I was in class, at one point, I remember I was in a class and the teacher actually wanted to talk about the whole soccer situation. And for like 30 minutes, all the kids were talking about the soccer thing. Girls, guys, everybody was watching, everybody was talking about them. I didn't say a single thing because I didn't give a shit about soccer or any sport. So I didn't really give a fuck and I didn't care. And I just let that shit, just like I wasn't even paying attention. I just blanked all that stuff out. And there's all these different kids criticizing or talking, oh, we should have won the championship, all this stuff, talking about different players and everything. And I'll tell you, I didn't play that at all. You know what I mean? I like as in I just didn't give a shit about that. That's the second. Now the third thing I want to talk about is basically there was a lot of criminal activity going on, and criminal activity was supposed to make you gangster, and being gangster was cool. And I'll tell you, like, I never made it into that world either. I never made it into that gangster world. I never went with these guys smoking weed. I never hung out with them. I never played cards with them. I never did any crimes with them. I would occasionally talk to somebody when it was something to do in class or something like that. But I didn't talk to anybody and I didn't know anybody. And to be very honest, and I know this sounds really bad, I didn't want to affiliate with anybody. Even though I had a good heart, I just really, and I felt very bad and I kind of hated myself for it. But I didn't want to communicate with any of them. I didn't want to talk to them. And I'll be honest with you, I thought I was better than them. And some of the ones that are among them that were the better of them knew that I thought I was better than them. But I always tried to give them the win. You know, oh no, I'm not better. I'm just such a loser that and my life sucks so bad and I'm so sad that I can't even hang out with anybody because I'm a buzzkill and I'm just gonna kill everybody's buzz kind of thing. That's how I presented it. But deep down, I knew I was better than all of them. But yeah, I never joined that criminal activity. I never joined that gangster. But the funny thing is, at 24 years old, my first criminal offense as an adult, and I'm robbing a bank. You know what I mean? I feel like that just put me on a whole different level and a whole different plateau right from there. And they were trying to rip me apart. They were trying to break it all down. You know, break them down however you can, like systemically, break down all the bank robbers. You know what I mean? But I just felt like I was from a different cloth. I was just way better than all of them, you know? And I'll tell you, in the recent times playing soccer, and it's like, dude, it was like nothing for me, you know? And I feel like I almost went like back in time, kind of, you know? I basically played soccer so good, not only like in every way I could. I wanted to physically body and show how strong I was, you know, physically and show how I can body and how strongly I can body, you know, which was a major thing. I showed how good I can defend and how easily I can take the ball off people who can play really good. And it's like I play with them. I'm like, dude, I could play like 5 levels higher right now and still kill it. You know, and pretty much dribbling. I worked on that dribbling. I shot with both feet, with left foot, right foot. I shot out crosses to be headed in. I did distant goals, shooting from really far. I curbed the ball when I shot. I just did everything. I tried doing different moves with the ball, deacon and all that stuff. And to be honest, I'm kind of happy because I got to display everything that I wanted to display and show how good I was. It was almost like going back in time and just throwing it in guys' face that, you know, dude, like, this is how much better I am than you, dude. They like guess what? Yeah, I didn't chill with you guys. I didn't play with you guys. You know who I was? At the very least, whoever the championship team was, that's who I was, man. So that's what I want you to know, that you know what? I didn't play that game with you guys in high school. I didn't even travel for a single sports team. But I'm so much better than you guys. I'm so much stronger than you. And anything that you want to contend with me with. When it comes to the criminal and the gangster world, same thing. Dude, I never hung out with you guys, man. I never did anything with you guys. I never clicked with you guys. But guess what, man? I'm so much higher than you in that world, man. I'm just so much more gangster than you, man. Like, I'm a totally different cloth. That one group of people who you were shit scared of or you actually tried to fight and you got your asses fucking handed to you, nigga, that's where I'm from at the very least. So, I mean, I'm pretty much done. Those were the three things that I wanted to talk about. Oh, the last thing is just, I guess, anyways, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Anyways, I'm done. And I will, and anyways, try watching it, see what you get out of it.